Hey Lorkeets, this is the recorded lesson for our second week of NTI. Hopefully you all are doing well and you guys are getting comfortable navigating the Google Classroom and navigating all the assignments that we've been posting. We're starting off this week with a brand new topic. We're going to be diving into ancient India. We're going to be covering the topics of geography, looking at the physical features of ancient India, and then where people settle. Because whether you know this or not, physical features will determine where people settle. This video will also be explaining directions on how to get to the appropriate sites and then instructions on how to complete your assignments for the week. So let's get started. So like I said, we're going to be talking about the geography of ancient India. Our big question that we will hopefully answer at the end of these activities will be, how did the geography affect early settlement in India? I want to talk a little bit about that word settlement. Settlement is anywhere someone is going to live or locate. It's a place that they might settle, they might go to, they might build their civilization, they might build their empire. So that's what a settlement is. We have two learning targets this week. The first is, I can describe the physical features of ancient India, and I can explain how the physical features impact settlement or impact where people live. In order for us to understand the physical features that are located in India, we need to have a better understanding of where India is located in the world. So India is highlighted, that's in orange right now. I want to show you where it is compared to some of the other civilizations that we have previously studied. So we first started by looking at Mesopotamia, which is pretty close to India. India is just a little further east. We then moved on to Egypt, went to the Mayan civilization in the Americas, came back to the continent of Africa to study West African civilizations, and made our way to Europe as we studied Rome and Greece. We're now going to be moving back to Asia, where we are going to take a look at India. So let's do a quick recap. Physical features of a place make up the natural environment. These can be things like rivers, mountains, plains, deserts, hills, and seas, and they impact the way people live. So they can impact them in both good ways and in bad ways. Some of India's physical features are mountains, rivers, plateaus, and deserts. So I want us to think for just a moment, how could these physical features impact people in a good way and a bad way? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to think on your own about how might rivers, mountains, plateaus, and deserts both help and hurt people when where they live. So as you're thinking about how these physical features can impact people in both a good way and a bad way, you can move through these physical features. You can think about things that are good for one particular physical feature that might be bad for another physical feature. Thinking about things like travel, trade, farming, protection. I'm going to give you guys about 5 more seconds. And time's up. So let's take rivers, for example. Rivers are probably my favorite physical feature in an area because I think they're probably the most useful. So if we look at rivers, we'll see that rivers have positive and negative things that can affect people. It's good because it can give fresh water to crops and for drinking. It's also really good for travel and trade. Building boats allow you to quickly access new places so that you can get the things that you want and need. But let's look at the flip side. Rivers can also impact people in a negative way. They can flood and they can destroy. They can also allow other groups of people to travel, which might be a problem, like if they invade or want to take your resources. So looking at different physical features, we have to examine the good things and the bad things that they can do to people. This assignment is going to take you through 8 key physical features of India. As you go through these physical features, it's important to think about two questions. What makes this physical feature suitable for a settlement, and what would make this physical feature not suitable for a settlement? Let's talk about that word suitable for just a minute. So suitable, meaning appropriate or good. So would this physical feature be an appropriate or a good place to live for people, or would it not be suitable? Would it be not appropriate or not a good place to live for people?